Hello, Yvonne Gabauer here with my therapy room, and I'm just going to do a little quick tip for you on how to decide when you've got a big piece of 12 by 12 scrapbook paper where to make the cut to make your card, and then once you've got your card made, where to place your sentiment and where it's going to look best on the card. So I'm going to show you just a couple of little tips that I've kind of come up with myself in my years of making cards, etc. So what I do is really quite simple. I take pieces of overlay, sheet protector, acetate off of packaging, whatever you want. And what I do is I cut them into the size of my card fronts that I make. So here I've got one that's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I've got one that's 4 by 8 1/2, and I've got one that's 6 by 6. And really, you can cut whatever size you want to do. So what I do is I take these, and then I decide, okay, so if I've got this bottom corner, I like these butterflies down here. So I'm just going to zoom in just a little bit here. And I don't know what size card, placement, all of that kind of stuff. So I take this little overlay and I put it over top of the card. And I can see at a glance, this is what my card's going to look like. Do I want it orientated that way? Do I want it orientated that way? You know, I take the next size up, whatever. That's too much space up here to do something with, so I probably wouldn't do it 4 by 8 1/2. 6 by 6 might be a nice size. Gives you lots of other space to work with. But anyways, so that's just what I do. Quick, easy. You can move it wherever you want. It works on any cardstock you've got. You know, so if you wanted to do something in this corner, I'd probably do my 6 by 6 with this one, because I think my 4 1/4 is going to cut off too much of, unless you want to just put a little sentiment up here. You know what, that might be okay. That might be okay on this one. Would I want to do it this way? Probably not. It cuts off too much. You kind of get a mishmash. But anyways, that's sort of how I decide what size and placement I'm going to cut on my card. And depending on the scrapbook paper you've got, you might want to make your cut not even in the corner, but up here somewhere. This way you can put it wherever you want, and you're going to figure out where that card is going to be. Then, when I'm done a card, where do I put my sentiment? Is the other thing that I have to determine. Now, I can take my stamp and I can put it on the card and move it here and move it there, but you really don't know, because you've got all this extra space around the wording. Where's that card, where's that sentiment going to end up, and what is it going to look like? So what I do, and I'm just going to grab this card right here, is I take just other different and you can do whatever size, you can make these whatever size you want, because it really doesn't matter. You're not using it to cut out, you're only using it to place your sentiment. So I'm just going to grab this one. Because I've got a black background, I'm going to use my white ink, and I always take stamp pad to stamp. I never do it the other way around, and I find I've got more control. I find when I take my stamp to stamp pad, I sometimes rock the stamp, and I'll get ink around the edges. Sometimes it happens with this method as well, but I find I've got more control when I take stamp pad to stamp. So I just stamp the image on there, grab my card, and now I can look to see where I want that sentiment. Do I want it here? Well, it's not going to fit down there, so that's not going to really work. Do I want it up in the corner? Do I want it down here? Do I want to turn the card this way and put it down in that corner? So this is just a way where, again, you're not taking this and trying to decide what's it going to look like. You know exactly, and it's clear, so it doesn't show. You can see the rest of your card through it and everything. So yeah, just a little quick tip on how I do placement of stamps, etc. on my cards, art journal pages, whatever. So there. Thank you very much for coming along in this quick little tidbit here. Give me a thumbs up if you liked it. Share, subscribe if you haven't already. Click the little email button and you'll get email notifications when I do upload a new video. Be sure to leave me a comment, suggestions on other techniques or tips you'd like me to show. It would be great if I could have that feedback as well. So again, thank you very much, and until next time, bye-bye.